Australian voters would prefer women to lead both our major parties, according to a Roy Morgan poll out this morning. So, will we have a leadership spill again soon? Political commentator Graham Richardson spoke on the show a little earlier.
I doubt it. She's obviously a class act. She performs really well. Her media performances are classic. Her speeches are very good as well. But she had a period as Shadow Treasurer. She was regarded as being incapable of getting across all the detail that you need to in a big job like that, and so a lot of people have doubts about whether she has it to become leader, and that's why in those last couple of leadership contests she didn't throw her hat in the ring. She kept it firmly on her head because she knows she's got deputy locked up. You take a risk when you go for the top job.
Live to 9, political reporter Lauren Ginoli in Canberra, who's pumped up about this research this morning. It's a big boost for them, isn't it?
Yeah, and for the sisterhood, Carl, you've got to say. The two female deputies are polling very well, according to this research. Now, this survey comes just a fortnight before the Americans vote in the historical presidential election between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. But here in Australia, like you say, for the first time, Julie Bishop's actually taken over Malcolm Turnbull as the preferred leader. She's there 9 points in front of our Prime Minister, out in front on 34. Tony Abbott's also on the way up, though, still wallowing in the mid to low teens. But the problem for the coalition is Mr Turnbull is down 16 points. And this isn't the first negative poll for the coalition. There was that news poll last week that showed that Labor had seized its biggest two-party preferred lead since Mr Turnbull took power back in September a couple of years ago. Now, if we take a look at the Labor figures now, the Shadow Education Minister Tanya Plibersek, she's also just in front of her fellow Sydney MP Anthony Albanese. They're up 3, Albo's up 4. Bill Shorten is steady on 14%, but still behind those two. And it's also worth noting with this, Carl, for the Labor Party, there was 552 respondents in this survey. When they were asked who they would prefer as the Labor leader if there was an election, 22% I should say, couldn't say who they preferred.
Well, how's this for girl power, folks? New figures this morning reveal Aussie voters would prefer women to head up our two major political parties. New poll has revealed people would prefer Foreign Minister Julie Bishop to be in the top job for the Libs. Meantime, Bill Shorten trails behind Deputy Labor leader Tanya Plibersek. Miranda Devine from the Daily Telegraph is here. Hey, Miranda, nice to see you.
You too, Carl.
Surprised about Julie Bishop's?
Not at all. I mean, she's just performed so well in her job. She'd have to be the smoothest and best presented politician in the whole of Parliament.
But there's a big difference, isn't there, between her being foreign leader, foreign minister,
yeah,
and being leader.
Absolutely. It's so much easier to look good when you're not in the leader's seat because, you know, she's calm and confident and poised. You know, you look at Malcolm Turnbull, especially the way he came to the job, he seems to be floundering. But the real figures are among coalition voters, and there Turnbull still is ahead. He's, you know, just as Bill Shorten is still ahead of Tanya Plibersek when it comes to Labor voters, and that's what counts. There's no point being popular with the other side.
He's got dramas, though, hasn't he, Malcolm Turnbull?
Well, he has, and look, I think partly it is because he's got that baggage from the way he took the job from Tony Abbott, and that includes the fact that there's been sniping from Tony Abbott in the last couple of weeks when the government should have had a good time in Parliament. But also, he seems to waffle. He can't really cut through to the chase. You can see the government trying to get its act together, and look, there's still time, plenty of time before the next election.
Bit of a worry, though.
It is, but I think when you look at the way the government, they're quite cohesive, and there's a lot within Parliament, within the parliamentary party, they're actually very supportive of him.
Until they're not.